that it is well open to the appellant to approach the State Environment Impact Assessment Authority as law so provides. The question of law qua public hearing is left open. So this is the path that is left open.
سماجی کارکن میدھا پاٹکر کی جانب سے جاری کی گئی ایک حقائق پر مبنی رپورٹ میں ہوناور پرائیویٹ پورٹ پروجیکٹ کے خلاف سخت انتباہ دیا ہے۔ یہ منصوبہ کرناٹک کے ساحلی علاقے کاسرگوڑ میں قائم کیا جا رہا ہے اور رپورٹ میں کہا گیا ہے کہ اس سے ماحول، روزگار اور انسانی حقوق کو سنگین خطرات لاحق ہیں۔ رپورٹ کے مطابق یہ منصوبہ 44 ہیکٹر پر پھیلا ہوا ہے اور اسے ہوناور پورٹس پرائیویٹ لمیٹڈ نے تیار کیا ہے، جو GVPR انجینئرز لمیٹڈ کی ذیلی کمپنی ہے۔ منصوبہ 5 ماہی گیر بستیوں میں پھیلا ہے اور اس کے تحت NH66 تک 4 کلومیٹر لمبی سڑک بنائی جا رہی ہے، جو حساس ساحلی علاقے سے گزرتی ہے۔ یہ رپورٹ AICCTU، فرائیڈیز فار فیوچر کرناٹکا اور PUCL نے مشترکہ طور پر تیار کی ہے۔ رپورٹ میں الزام لگایا ہے کہ HPPL نے مقامی برادری کی رضامندی کے بغیر اور مناسب ماحولیاتی حفاظتی اقدامات کیے بغیر منصوبے کو آگے بڑھایا۔ رپورٹ کے مطابق یہ پورا عمل غیر شفاف اور عوام کو نظر انداز کرنے والا تھا۔ رپورٹ میں بتایا گیا ہے کہ 24 فروری کو ہزاروں ماہی گیروں نے پرامن احتجاج کیا، لیکن پولیس نے کارروائی کرتے ہوئے 100 سے زائد افراد کو گرفتار کر لیا۔ کئی خواتین تھکن سے گر پڑیں اور تقریباً 50 مظاہرین سمندر میں کود گئے۔ اگلے دن علاقے میں دفعہ 144 نافذ کی گئی اور 24 احتجاجی رہنماؤں کو 24 دن کے لیے جیل بھیج دیا گیا۔ اس واقعے کے بعد ساحلی علاقوں میں ایک ہفتے طویل ہڑتال بھی ہوئی۔ رپورٹ کے مطابق بندرگاہ کے بریک واٹرز قدرتی ریت کے بہاؤ کو روک دیں گے، جس سے ساحلی کٹاؤ میں اضافہ ہوگا اور شراوتی ریور ایسچوری کو خطرہ لاحق ہوگا۔ یہ علاقہ اولیو ریڈلی ٹرٹلز، منگروو جنگلات اور مختلف اہم مچھلیوں کی نسلوں کے لیے نہایت اہم ہے۔ ماحولیاتی کارکنوں نے کہا کہ ماحولیاتی اثرات کی جو جانچ کی گئی وہ غلط تھی اور HPPL کو عوامی سماعتوں اور مقامی لوگوں سے مشورہ کرنے کی ضرورت سے استثناء دیا گیا۔ رپورٹ کے مطابق علاقے میں 6000 سے زیادہ خاندان ماہی گیری پر منحصر ہیں۔ خشک مچھلی کا کام کرنے والی بیشتر خواتین اب اپنی روایتی زمینوں تک رسائی سے محروم ہیں، کیونکہ یہ زمینیں 2019 میں HPPL کے حوالے کر دی گئی تھیں۔ مزید بتایا گیا کہ 113 گھروں میں سے صرف 18 گھروں کے پاس ملکیتی کاغذات ہیں، جس سے ان کے دوبارہ بے گھر ہونے اور آمدنی کھونے کا خدشہ بڑھ گیا ہے۔ رپورٹ میں حکومت سے مطالبہ کیا گیا ہے کہ پولیس کے مقدمات واپس لیے جائیں، زیادتیوں کے ذمہ دار اہلکاروں کے خلاف کارروائی کی جائے اور ماحولیاتی منظوری کو فوری طور پر منسوخ کیا جائے۔ رپورٹ نے حکام پر زور دیا ہے کہ وہ ساحلی علاقے اور وہاں کے لوگوں کو ناقابل تلافی نقصان سے بچائیں۔
Will her house be demolished in such a situation? So many RTC documents they have, Rehana had documents, there are Akshay Yojana documents. Some houses are built under Akshay Yojana, which did not give them any grant like the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana of the present time, but they gave the right to stay there on that piece of land. All this is not taken into consideration at all. How shameful it is that when we have such a huge authority structure in the country like India, every official is getting the benefits up to pension. They are getting their houses, their quarters, big land for every minister and every official, also vehicles to take them here and there and every facility. And still their basic duty is not performed. And all this really tells us that the development planning in the present context is really based on profiteering. If there is any bondage between the rulers and the corporates, it is not just electric bonds, it is a kind of bondage that needs to be struggled against by the common people who have been living on the common lands. In Kabristan, 3 acres and more land, where their ancestors' dead bodies are lying under the land, and they have their hearts in that Kabristan, and that is going to be demolished and occupied in the name of the road for the port project. How can they tolerate it? It is therefore that they entered into the not pelted a stone. They have never raised any lathi. Who raised the lathis? Police raised the lathis. And he has already described what happened on 25th and 26th February. Survey happened on 26th February. But on the previous day, 25th February, the day they faced repression was something which we had to tell even the Chief Minister about. And fortunately, Siddharamaiah, who met us for a short while, made a soft statement that we will withdraw the cases. We await to see whether all the cases with the false allegations of attempt to murder, for which they were kept in jail in Dharwad for 24 days, and we met his wife, Rajesh's wife, has become mentally sick. We met Apeksha, a small young girl. You read in the report about her interview which she had given. She had given such a strong interview. When we saw that Apeksha, small girl, we did not have Apeksha of that kind of a statement from her. And she said that I will not withdraw my statement when the police went to her house to say, withdraw your statement, because that went into the media. And then her brother was taken out and beaten so badly and also detained. So Apeksha said that I will commit suicide. I will give my life to save my village and to save my community. And so many people walked into the sea and they had to be saved. There was one Rekha who was also trying to commit suicide once, and her life was somehow saved. But isn't it violence when any agency encroaches upon their life and livelihood? That is also another kind of violence. Killing the livelihood sources, which is the only source of livelihood for them, is also a violence against their right and their life. And this is what is happening in the Honnavar port. We expect still a lot from the government of your state. When Devanahalli people exhibited how the farmers can fight and save 1700 acres of their land, I think even 18,000 acres of land that is going to be taken for Greater Bangalore can be saved by the farmers if they stand up with courage. And this is happening everywhere. We have to take this into consideration. What is happening to land? Land has become gold. And when it is taken over, the land acquisition process also is not followed, even as much as it was being followed during the British times. No hearing is held, no notice is given, no consent is obtained, and the land use pattern changes towards profiteering companies or any agents. And this is what needs to be questioned. Now when the trucks are going through the road, the dust is all over. The dust is settling down up to the groundwater, percolating through the sand dunes and going into the water which they are taking and drinking from the wells. And they were very happy with the water availability in their communities. They are given all facilities by the government, water, electricity, since years. Anganwadi, school, health center is in the Kasarkot Panchayat itself. We observed all that and got the information, and still they are considered as encroachers. The real encroachers are the project planners and the beneficiaries of such projects. So we happen to tell not just the Chief Secretary, Madam, but also the Chief Minister, that you have to review this project. Do you all agree?
Yes.
Yes? All agree? Yes. Please raise your hands and please take their photograph, not mine. So, Beke Beku, Beke Beku, is to be our commitment and vision. And for this, they have to not only withdraw the cases against them, but they have to withdraw the port project to save their life and livelihood and save the ecology of Sharavati and the coastal region. Similar struggles are going on. In Kerala, Villinjam port given to Adani is being fought against by thousands of fish workers, but they also faced 3,000 false cases and they are not listened to, and the project is going ahead. Can we see some difference between the Kerala situation and the Karnataka situation is the question in our mind. And we have told the present Chief Minister that we expect a lot from you. When I had to send him a letter to save the 307 villages in Maharashtra, just by regulating and monitoring the waters from the Alamatti Dam, which is an interstate project. It was Siddharamaiah who responded positively, and this year we got saved those villages. I think that kind of sensitivity, that kind of pro-people approach, that kind of pro-dialogue, and his commitment today that yes, I will look into this report and I will see what can be done. Will that happen is a question. We are today on the eve of International Fisher Women's Day, which is tomorrow, 5th of November. Across the country, because the right to riverine fish workers to the rivers. Rivers are polluted. Rivers are encroached upon by big dams, while the USA have decommissioned 1951 dams. European Commission has passed a resolution to free the rivers up to 25,000 kilometers by 2030. And India is still following the path which we started following based on the Tennessee River Valley project as the example of USA. I was also one of the commissioners on the World Commission on Dams, and we have seen that across the world, right, the Three Gorges Dam in China, the dams in Brazil, in Philippines, in Pakistan, Mangala, Tarvela, and in India, where the largest number of dams next to China are built. Everywhere rivers are also facing hell, and the fish workers have to fight. On the coastal region, when the foreign ships came, our deceased colleague Thomas Kocheri and so many of them really fought to save the fisheries rights. And the ports are now the new kind of activity which is encroaching upon the fish workers and the fisher women's right to life and livelihood. And that is why this report is very, very important report. If it is eroding shores, has the port project silenced the protests is a question. आपको चुप कर दिया है क्या पुलिस ने, या आप आगे बढ़ेंगे? चुप कर दिया? हाँ, आपको चुप तो नहीं कर दिया। इनकी पत्नी भी इतनी भुगती है, पर राजेश जी, मोहम्मद भाई, रिहाना जी, रेखा बहन, सईदा बहन, all of them whom we met, they were very, very committed to take the protest forward. And they have to be committed to truth and non-violence. Who else but Mahatma Gandhi and Baba Sahib Ambedkar can show us that path? And that is what a person like Siddharamaiah is paying tribute to Devraj Ars, to the Land Reforms Act of Karnataka, which is abolished, but there is a commitment that they would bring it back once they come to power. Many people like B.R. Patil and others in the Planning Commission, the MLAs are still waiting for that. And here what happened? The MLA, present MLA who is the Ports Minister, who is the Fisheries Minister, Mankal Vaidya. In Hindi first I thought it must be Mangal Vaidya. Mankal Vaidya and D.K. Shivkumar. I was shocked to hear his name. They went to that area before elections and they promised that they would not allow this port project to go on. And how can they change their position if they got elected and Mankal Vaidya got elected with the full support, especially of the fishers community. Yesterday we met him. When I talked to him, he first said, "Madam, this project is planned since 2010, 2012 and so on. So did he not know about this when he contested elections and he promised them?" I said, "So what? As on today they have no environment clearance properly obtained. As till date there is no due process of law followed. There are no full-fledged impacts assessment, environmental and also social. Social impact assessment is also related to environment. If the environment is affected, if the farms are affected, the farmers are affected. If the Himalayan glaciers come down, the Pahadi Adivasis are affected. If the rivers are polluted, the fish workers get affected. And here, other kind of infrastructure activities affecting them. So he cannot say that there is no way to go ahead." He also referred to the judgments, and I must bring to your notice that this last judgment of Supreme Court, this last judgment, which is very short. I know the judge who was first in the Madhya Pradesh High Court, I will not talk about. But he has in a way dismissed without giving a hearing to the advocates who were standing before the Supreme Court. Now, you know that judiciary is a pillar of democracy. But every pillar ko jab dhimak lag jati hai, white ant, so what can we expect? But even in this judgment, the sentence needs to be taken into consideration. We do not find any ground to interfere with the impugned order. This was an SLP, appeal petition, beyond the High Court order and the NGT order. But next sentence is very important. However, we make it clear that it is well open to the appellant to approach the State Environment Impact Assessment Authority as the law so provides. The question of law qua public hearing is left open. So this is the path that is left open for all of those who want to take legal action. And this कानूनी और मैदानी लड़ाई हर प्रोजेक्ट के बारे में करनी पड़ती है. And hence it is not the end of the matter when this report is released. It is up to you all to take up this, study it. अभी हमको एक MLC ने कहा कि ये कैसे, कि मुझे मालूम नहीं कि होन्नावर पोर्ट का इतना बड़ा इशू है. मैं कहा अरे, तो उन्होंने कहा कि किसी भी मीडिया में पढ़ा नहीं, आप क्यों नहीं सोशल मीडिया पर डालते, आप क्यों नहीं यूट्यूब पर डालते. अरे सोशल मीडिया हैज बिकम ए सोशल मीडिया एंड डबल एजेड स्वॉर्ड. बट फिर भी इन्होंने कहा कि अरे हम पर जब ऑपरेशन हुआ तब इन हिंदू, इन डेक्कन हेराल्ड, सम newspapers had covered it on the first page. But even the MLC and MLAs did not know about it. Some knew, some did not know about it. So who will really spread the information and the reality? It is you and we who are responsible for it. We cannot go and sit with them throughout for the Satyagraha, which should start tomorrow in that area, because tomorrow is the International Fisher Women's Day. Now the police will take this information to the authorities there, but we will not be afraid. If we are non-violent, we will not be silenced. And I will also tell you, without taking your time, that there is another project on the Saravati River, Pump Storage Project. We, on behalf of our National Alliance for Climate and Ecological Justice, has already issued a statement, but the letter that is given to me yesterday by Kochrekarji and others who are questioning this project are also to save the Sharavati river. Every river is considered as mother river. From here the port is coming in, from there this pump storage which will affect the Adivasis, farmers, fish workers. 16,000 evergreen trees will be felled. The endangered lion-tailed macaque and other endemic species will lose their habitats. Continuous tunneling and blasting will deplete the groundwater, destroy farmlands and trigger landslides. And biodiversity corridors of the Western Ghats. Aapko malum nahi hoga, the Madhav Gadgil's report was one of the best reports, and he did it visiting every Gram Sabha and really said not that no development, but which are the no development zones. Now here the port activity is also taking up in the no development zones based on the CRZ notification, and this project is also violating this. I will only say that kindly take cognizance of everything is happening in your state at least, and across the country. Our National Alliance of People's Movements have to really proceed to Assam, proceed to Joshimath in Uttarakhand, proceed to Himachal Pradesh and so on, and take cognizance of what is happening. But if we feel that these are all natural calamities, that is wrong. So this human-made calamity, which is the result of the wrong, illegal, inhuman, unjust and non-sustainable development planning, then it is the duty not only of the state but also we all as citizenry, whose duty is also underlined in the Constitution of India. And if we call ourselves ecologists, we give slogans and speeches on environmental protection, for climate justice and so on, and in the global summits in Glasgow, in Paris, in Copenhagen, there are number of resolutions passed, or the money is asked for from the so-called developed countries for taking care of the climate change. That is not the solution. The solution has to be at the ground level by changing the lifestyles, reducing the encroachment upon nature, which causes destruction in the name of development and also brings in disparity, which is inequity and injustice. So I think the Honnavar port is one challenge before all of us, and I from here appeal to Siddaramaiah government. When I know his background, when I know his general vision, he went to Mysore to really pay tribute to Devarajas and so on. So we expect that this project will be reviewed and their lives and livelihoods and the ecology of the Honnavar and the coastal region and also the Sharavati river will be saved. I really hope that all of you who have come here, and this is one-sided dry dock that has taken place. Are there questions and answers?
Yes.
Oh, I see. Press. Okay. So I won't press for the questions, but I will only expect that this report, which has come as a result of their in-depth analysis and efforts, will really make a difference for motivating all of us to take some action or other as per our own capacities and our own abilities. Thank you very much.